Hello, my name is Haitham Awad and welcome to a very special Startup Scene edition of Romancea Mansea.
هاي كريم ايه الاخبار؟
عرفت
حمار
Congratulations, huge news. Tarek El Ganainy and Peacecake teaming up. How did this all come to be? So, Kareem, when were you aware that Tarek was interested in Peacecake?
One of the coolest things that happened to us is that Tarek, who we didn't know at the time, randomly posted on Facebook saying, guys, there's this show called Romancea Mansea, and I think it's one of the funniest things online right now. I don't know who the people are, but bravo. طبعا we took that screenshot and we would share it in every single presentation with every client we'd sit with. Years later, we reached out to Tarek, and when we really decided to dive in deeper into content, sat down with him and started sharing our business plan, our vision, our goals, our aspirations, our track record and everything. And from then on, I think appetite ben.
I know, Tarek, that you've been looking to get into the digital space for a while, but this is like a big dive in. And why did you decide that Peacecake were the guys to bank on in entering a space that's booming?
A lot of people will tell you that digital is the future. I believe digital is the present for a couple of years now. So we had one of two approaches. Either we create a digital department from within, or we look at the market and we see who is there, and maybe we can form a partnership with them. The best fit for us was obviously Peacecake. The dynamic of the whole team and the vision that they have had since 3 years ago and moving forward, it just fits with the way we think and where we see things happening. Just going to their office just lifts your spirits up, because they have so much positive energy that it's just amazing to be around.
Usually when we think of investment or a bigger company coming into partner with a smaller company, we talk figures, we talk money, but this seems a little bit different. What does this mean for Peacecake moving forwards?
When we were looking as Peacecake to dive in deeper into the media industry, we had a couple of routes and options ahead of us. But what we really felt was necessary was finding a strategic partner. Actually come in with years of experience, come in with understanding of the ecosystem, and what actually Tarek had that blew us away a bit is that it's not just his traditional experience, but also his experience digitally.
Your traditional kind of TV experience, that more traditional model, do you think that can help digital? Is there something to be learned from the model that we think is kind of being pushed out?
With TV, you don't have this kind of connection with your viewers that digital allows you to. With digital, you can know exactly who is watching you, for how long they watched you, what did they like, what did they like. The data just helps you so much. For Peacecake, I always see my role as just as consultancy part, where we would sit every now and then, we would discuss things moving forward.
It's interesting that you mentioned kind of a data-driven kind of approach. It's not something that we usually equate to content creation in the Middle East. How have you been able to utilize this kind of data in what you've done previously, and has it worked?
That's the thing we do the most, actually. The way we work at Peacecake is that we actually internally develop briefs for the content. So for example, Romancea Mansea was our first experiment at a format. So when we moved to creating a second show, we took all the successful learnings and then we chose to target a different demographic based on the learnings that we found. It's exactly how we ended up with MSIC Nafsa and how it worked from the get-go, because data really makes a big difference.
Do you think it'll ever get to a stage where there will be a decent return in the same way, maybe not immediately and as much as television? Obviously the advertising money that's being thrown around is insane. Do you think digital can inch closer or even reach a similar stage?
100%, very soon. TV will be only limited for news channels, sports events, and talk shows. The migration will be massive. This has to happen, and again, it comes down to data. When you put an ad right now on TV, you don't know who saw this ad. You don't know the reach of the ad, you don't know the effect of the ad. Especially multinationals right now, they're always looking at this, is that they need the data. They need to know if we launch this new product, for example, a soft drink or something, we need to know where it's going. It makes you know your client. Once you understand them, you will automatically start thinking their way. For those clients, they are looking more at digital. The only problem is that they don't have enough content.
What's in the pipeline for the future? Obviously Peacecake does its thing.
I will tell you, but it's between us, of course. You can't tell anyone.
We'll switch off the cameras right now.
I can't diverge too much, but before the end of the year, we have 2 new shows coming up that are completely different than from anything our audience has seen so far.
There are certain barometers that investors will use to decide whether this has been a success or not. What's the kind of barometer you're using for this partnership, and what will mark a success of this partnership for you?
If or when, inshallah, Peacecake becomes a unicorn company, I don't want them to look back and say, oh, we should not have done this, or we should not have gave him that many shares. Oh, he got a real... No, he was valuable for us, and they were valuable for me. It makes sense. That's really what it comes down to. You jump in, even if you don't know how to swim, and you figure it out along the way. And so far, it's been going great.